Hello and welcome back to the channel. I've just been surfing, or I had been surfing. I've just come home and I spotted some movement down by the chickens, and intuition and experience told me one thing: I've possibly got some furry friends, aka a rat. So I popped my surf stuff away and I kind of stayed at the top of the garden and I was looking down, scanning for movement. And yeah, after about 10 minutes with the dogs locked in the house, no kids around, and being totally quiet here, I saw them hopping over into the chicken run to get at the food and running up the side and going in through a little hole that I've just discovered. So basically, I went and got my 2.2 air rifle, and basically I set up like a little bit of a observation area, and then I quickly got myself moved further and further down within a really good range. Not only a really good range, but good eyes on, or eye on, so I could take a clean shot. And yeah, every time I was quiet and didn't move for a few moments, they were just shuttling in and out. So I waited for one to get lined up against a backstop, which was a wooden post, took a shot and took him out. So I've got one, but there were two basically going shuttling backwards and forwards. The chickens scurried out because obviously a lot of noise, and basically I'm not going to see the yellow one for a little while. But it's prompted me to have a little bit of an investigation in this area again. I've kind of let it slip for a few weeks without checking to see if I've got any, you know, rodents. But I've got them back again. And I haven't had them since I had my eye injury, which meant not only did I have to shoot the first one that I've had in a long time, it was with my non-shooting eye, and that's primarily why I opted to get so close. I'll just let you have a little bit of a look. I'm not going to be showing you the rat and any gore. I'm not sure YouTube would allow that, and I'm not really into showing that. All I'm going to show you is the setup and what's basically transpired and happened here. If you've got chickens and you live in the countryside, like I've always said, this just goes part and parcel and hand in hand to management of chickens. I do have traps up there which I will have to deploy, as well as using the 2.2 air rifle. Quite simply, I've got a week and a half before I've basically head out to Portugal, so I've got to get on top of this pretty quick. I was going to cull the chickens because they've reached that age they're not laying many eggs, but Bluey has started producing some blue eggs, and one or maybe two of the brown chickens have started producing 1 or 2 eggs. It's not enough really to warrant keeping those 4 chickens. Really, I should cull them and start again, but my wife and kids have said, hey, let's give them another season because they've started producing, even though it's of a limited quality. I'm feeding them basically, it's costing me more than what you could probably buy them in a shop for, but that's not the point of keeping the chickens anyway. But we'll have a quick little look and see what's going on here, and you can understand what I'm talking about, and yeah, see what I've just been doing over the last 20 minutes 30 minutes before I picked up the phone. So yeah, let's crack into this. So this is a week's worth of eggs, and as you can see, for 4 chickens, that's not really a spectacular amount. And as you can see, we got 3 brown hens, and that's all the brown eggs. Bluey has laid 4 this week. So yeah, and she went nearly 6 months without laying anything. So as you can see, they really are at that point where they're probably you'd want to start again. But in any case, This is what it's all about, and by producing eggs, yeah, you do obviously run in or incur the issue of having to keep an eye out for rats. Right then, so basically I was at the top part of the garden here, and I've got a cup of tea at the minute, but I was getting my wetsuits put away, putting my board back in the workshop in the front bit. You would have seen my boards racked up in there. Bit of a palaver to get them in and out, but hey, yeah. And as you can see, just past this A-frame of the children's play set, that's where I saw movement down against the bottom piece of the chicken run. So you're seeing it in real time, the right way round filming, so I'll give you a better idea what I'm talking about. So I've had to take the cover off the top of the gazebo because quite simply it was blowing a hoolie the other day and it was going to take off. But in any case, from here, if you look down, you can just see the chicken stand there at the very bottom of the garden on the right hand side. Well, where the grass meets the actual wood border piece of the run, that's where I saw them running against. And that's how I basically ended up doing what I've had to do now. But you will notice them. Once you see a flash of movement, the human eye is quite good at picking it up, despite what you may think. Even at this distance, you might not know what it is or recognise it, but you'll know it's not supposed to be there or supposed to happen. And that obviously leads you to investigate. So obviously I went and got my air rifle, got some pellets, and I had to decide which side of the garden I was going to tackle this. Because they weren't coming from this side, I wasn't going to go around this way, down by the woodshed. It meant I went down along here, and I got my line of sight there. So I'll take you down. Now I had two options really. I could have gone out around and come back in to get a shot, but that would angle me too far in towards the border or my hedgerow there. I needed a shot going straight down through to give me a clear line of sight, so it meant I had to come down here. And several times while I was coming down here, they clocked me and shot off again. So basically it was a case of me just hunkering down here, not moving, and gradually working my way down like this till I got here, and then I was able to get a shot. But this gives me the clear line of sight there so that I could observe just there by the door. And this is where you're going to see the actual shot angle. You'll see it there, and it's between the metalwork of the actual slide there and between the tree trunk there. Right, so basically I shot all the way down through here. Well, not all the way, it's a really close distance. Knocked him over there. They have been scuttling through there, going in there to the food and coming up here, shooting in around that door, squeezing in around there, and going in through there. So I've got to sort out something a bit more and get this a bit more resistant to them getting in there. But anyway, I've got one, but I probably won't see the other one for a long time now. Right, yeah, that's the situation where I'm in at the moment. But let's have a little look around. Right, I've got some apples on my fruit trees here. I've got some plums. Now these plums have always been a target for pigeons and magpies. but thankfully they've not really clocked them, because my neighbour has got a bird feeder and she feeds all the big crows, magpies, and they don't seem interested in my fruit this year. This tree is producing loads of apples, but because of the wind I'm getting windfall, and I haven't paid much attention to it, but I've started to have a look at some of them, and I can see, well, you can see here, that's been pecked and nibbled. So I don't think all this windfall is going to help my cause at the minute. So you can see that one in there, that's been either pecked or eaten. The same as those there. Oh, you can see one. I'm on my hands and knees under the bloody tree now. You can see there, and that one. So something's nibbling on these. I'm going to have to get these off the floor. Yeah, that's not helping my cause at the moment. Now, I have known them run along here, and that's where I've taken shots before, and in around here. And I can get a clear shot pretty much all the way to this area here, and then basically I'm obscured. So yeah, I'm just looking around the perimeter for any activity. Is this no, that doesn't look like it's been used. Now there's old holes there and the dogs have been digging them out, so I may put some traps there. If they've dug that out, it could mean there's activity there. But as you can see, I've kept it clean here so I can keep an eye on it. Although, like I said, I've been a bit lax the last few weeks. You can see there's no digging or scratching to get in. I do have raspberries and blackberries here. As you can see, they're starting to come. The birds have got most of these before I get to them. First thing in the morning you come down, there's birds everywhere. Right, there's no holes here, nothing there. But they're looking to get in here where they've been going. So I'll set a couple traps here, I think. Yeah. I don't think I've got too many because I don't see massive amounts of dig marks. So I think if I get this other one, it could be job done. Right, let's finish with this and get out of here. I've got stinging nettles behind me. Right then, it's prompted me, before I put the air rifle away and get it all secure and safe, is for me just to put a tin can up and just put a few shots in it. Quite simply because I'm now using this eye instead of this eye. So I just want to, because this week I'm obviously, you can see what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to, till I'm 100% convinced I no longer have any rodents, and I know I'm 100% clear. This week, as well as getting ready to go to Portugal, I've got things to sort out with the car, and well, I've got a bucket load of things to get ready to go. But that's just me. It's just everything seems to be lastminute.com. But in any case, putting that to one side, I'm going to make sure that I'm smacking a tin can around pretty much every shot where I want it to go, just to give me that added amount of confidence. And also, like I said, I got within halfway down my garden to take that shot. I can, when I have last used this eye, shoot from the top of the garden and hit the can. I didn't feel confident enough to do that, so that's why I got within that distance. I'm just going to see if I can hit anything like I used to with this eye, shooting down. If not, it will still have to be like I did, to creep down as close as I did to take that shot. The only thing is, as they were going in and out as I was moving down, obviously clocking me going to ground, then coming backwards and forwards, I'm pretty sure if they saw me do that 2 or 3 times, they're pretty smart, they would probably clock on, they seen me, they wouldn't come back out for a long time. Whereas if I'm at the top of the garden, I stand a better chance of just being able to knock one over and not have to worry about creeping around the garden. So yeah, let's get a tin can, just knock it around a little bit, and just to confirm that I'm still good to go with this eye, perhaps at a longer distance than what I've done today. Let's make this happen. Yet again, after I've had a cup of tea. I'm pretty dehydrated after being in the sea. Right, what I want to do is get a good grouping inside the bottom ring of a can. So I'm going to put this can down here, and yeah, let's go back. That's what I want to do. Hit that can there, and I'm going to come up to here and take a shot from here down at that can down there. Bring you in. You can just see it there. So I'm going to get one round into that and see how I'm going to aim for the centre mass and see what that does from here at the moment. There we go. I was aiming there and I'm kind of like an inch off. Right. Right, that's my second shot, and you can see I've got about an inch spread to that distance there. The distance I'll measure properly, but it's about half my garden. So I'm going to put a third shot in, and I'm going to see if I can just close this group up a little bit. But it's a pretty bad grouping, to be honest with you, but it's within that very tight circle there. So yeah, let's try again. Right, let's go and have a look at that third shot. I think I'm gonna need to spend an hour just getting fully zeroed in here. So yeah, you can see basically I'm within that circle there. From this distance, you know, I can knock out a rat or a little bit closer, but I'm I don't think I can really at the moment be shooting from the top of my garden. I need to, like I said, I haven't shot the air rifle for quite a while, so I'm going to need a lot more. I'm going to need possibly an hour just putting a few pellets down range to get my full aiming and zeroing back into where I usually like it. Right then guys, it's not a scientific measure, but if we say 17-18 meters, possibly 20, I don't know how long I was striding, that's the distance I'm shooting at. And like I said, I comfortably had that other rat. There is another one that I've got to get. I know that for a fact because I've seen it, and you can possibly deduce if there's those two there could be some more. So I'm going to get on top of that. I will be shooting from this distance because I still don't have the skill to reach out from the top of my garden like I used to when I was shooting with my shooting eye. As most of you know, I'm still waiting an operation because I don't have any sight in that eye at the moment, or very limited. But as you can see, I've managed to retrieve that kind of grouping, and it was enough for me to take out that other rat. So I'm actually going to put a few more pellets down range just before I put the air rifle away and secure everything and make it safe. So I'm going to do that, and I'll catch you guys again. I just thought I'd let you have a little look at what I'm up to. So take care, stay safe, and hope to catch you guys on the trail.